Zabuza never thought that you were merely a tool.
In the Land of Waves arc, we are introduced to a gentle young British child, Haku, a member of a clan that possessed the Ice-style Kekkei, and he died at the young age of 15, saving the life of the person he loved most in the world. And in today's video, I'll be seeing how strong he could have become. Prior to his untimely death, Haku still managed to display some pretty good abilities. While holding back to having an innately gentle heart, he still managed to overwhelm both Naruto and Sasuke, only being pressed after Naruto goes to his Kubi form after Haku had been using his mirrors for a while.
I'm gonna kill you!
He was also able to intercept Kakashi's Raikiri attempt on Zabuza, even managing to attack the scroll Kakashi using his Earth-style summoning technique to pin Zabuza down. As in Edo Tensei and Wara, Haku was able to block a combined attack from both Guy and Lee, and then is yet again able to intercept Kakashi's Raikiri. Of course, Haku's bread and butter is in his Ice Release, a Kekkei that combines Water and Wind Release. With it, Haku is able to use his crystal mirrors, able to travel in between them at light speed, and is also able to make an ice wall for defense. He was also able to use some form of water style as seen in his needles, which are able to cause fatal injury depending on how many hit and fly at high speed. Haku getting Zabuza's water style techniques and his execution sword would be a good start. He could even mix in his Senmon with the hidden mist or silent killing combo, or combine the attacks with water style, such as hiding the Senbon in the mouth of his water dragon, or even having a water dragon head launch out water Senbon. Haku should also be able to combine the use of Senbon with his poison in combat. Think how Sasori had all these poison needles in his fight against Sakura and Chio and the Hirika puppet. To take advantage of the Executioner Sword's ability to regenerate via the iron in a person's blood, Haku could take a page out of Kakashi's book. You see, in Kakashi Hiden, Kakashi changes the properties of his Earth style to change it into Quartz, allowing it to negate the negative elemental matchup as against Lightning style Jutsu. Since water gains iron from moving through natural rock formations underground, Haku could simply produce water and have it travel underground to dissolve iron more easily, and upon his command, the iron-laden water comes from underground, dousing the sword and regenerating it. If Haku tells the opponent how the sword works, another thing he might be able to do is change the color of his water to match blood, if only to throw the enemy off temporarily. I could also see Haku carrying around a gourd of water so that he has to waste less chakra in water and ice style techniques. Maybe he can have multiple gourds on him, keeping the other sealed inside of a bunch of scrolls. As for a summon, something like a whale, shark, or creature capable of existing in extreme cold should honestly be fine. Using the aforementioned water gourds to give a swimming environment would be good synergy. Something cool aesthetically he could do is wipe the blood on his needles or the execution sword like how Kakashi used the scroll to summon dogs in the Zabuza fight. Next up, I'll cover the other component of his abilities that Haku never tapped into, that being Wind Style. As a starting point, he could stream the chakra through his sword and through his own needles, enhancing their cutting power significantly. Haku could even combine the use of the Wind Style Senbon with wires and change their position slightly at the last second. He could even take the Tamari on and use fans, albeit two Tessens would probably suit him better. Of course, when compared nicely with Water Style, especially something like the Water Vortex, and we do see something kinda similar with Naruto and Yamato's combination jutsu canceling out Kakuzu's when it hands Fire Style. To buff his own mobility, Haku could try making and using a Wind Style technique that will let him float in the air using small tornadoes produced on the palms of his hands or right under the soles of his own feet, which will be an excellent aid as most characters in the series don't have the ability to fly, save for the Tsuchikage, Curse Mark users, or Six Paths characters. To start the process of mastering his own Kekkei, Haku will learn the various ice-style techniques shown throughout the franchise. For example, Naruto the movie Ninja Clash in the Land of Snow has its own ice-style users using pre-existing ice. Albeit this isn't an actual ice-style Kekkei, since Kakashi could copy and use the techniques. In Kakashi Retten, Ice Release gets used for basic means like a sword, however, Kaido's Ice Chains will serve as a great addition as they effectively make the target dedicate their chakra into staying warm to not freeze to death. And this was the reason as to why she was chosen as warden of Hozuki Castle. To place the ice particles on his target for the chains to form, Haku could put small ice particles in the air and then use his Tessen fans in combination with Wind Release to repel the particles in the target, effectively starting a timer on their lives. He could potentially even do this with other attacks like sending out the Water Senbon, then having them morph and freeze into the chains when they approach you. To amp his arsenal even further, he can research the techniques of other Kekkei then to make the ice style equivalents of them. Using the equivalent of the Wood style cutting technique, he will lower the temperature of the spears to freeze people from the inside out, forming wings out of snow like a third Kazekage puppet in his iron sand, hitting a person to trigger instant freezing in Kenagari's explosion style fist. So long as Haku continues to research these abilities and the Shinobi continues to evolve, his arsenal of abilities is nigh endless. Forming ice below his feet to skate on it will be a good buff to his mobility, like how I brought up him being able to use Wind Style to fly through the air, and this could also be used to trip people up. In fact, He could probably incorporate body flicker into the mix too when skating, and then shift to flying through the air. Incorporating the ice techniques found in another series is also a big addition to Haku's bag. For example, in Demon Slayer, Upper Moon 2 Doma uses ice clones, and Haku could tweak this to have the clones burst into ice shards upon being defeated, or potentially even morph into freezing vapor. In Jujutsu Kaisen, Heine's sorcerer Arame uses a freezing mist as the base of their Frost Con technique, which is able to freeze others at a wide range, and then he can use the Icefall technique, which drops and generates multiple icicles on their opponent. As a potential last resort of sorts, Haku could have his water gourds burst open and then freeze the water droplets and have the icicles rain down on the target to skewer them. In My Hero Academia, we see Shoto develop Phosphor in his branching ultimate moves with the purposes of countering the hottest of flames. Haku could also develop a technique based on his very concept. He would form an ice construct underground and then have it come up to implant a seal on the target via making contact. The seal would completely stop or at worst greatly hamper the fire style user from able to shoot out their attacks, which is due to the fact that the seal has the effect of lowering the temperature of their chakra itself. Learning all of the other 5 basic chakra natures would be a good buff, especially since the other elements could pair nicely with his ice-style techniques. Given the nature of Haku's mirrors and how they drain his chakra if he uses them for too long, Earth Release would probably be the nature he uses the most outside of wind, water, and ice, just because Earth is basically everywhere to utilize. Another technique I thought of is if he made a mountain using Earth style, and then sent snow flowing down the mountain, effectively making avalanches. By applying real-life rules, Haku could also make his own unique lightning style jutsu. To start, he would make a form of water style to produce a cloud. Following this, he would form water and ice particles within the cloud, and after colliding them after a certain amount of time, a lightning strike occurs. To increase the chance of this hitting the target even further, he could throw metal at his target just before the lightning strike happens. A form of ice avatar could serve as an ultimate offense and defense for Haku, with things like freezing mist coming out of his mouth, employing a kind of sealing technique to weaken incoming attacks, and the ability to morph itself into a variety of shapes, potentially even including the ice chains. In the first data book, the characters have these miniature blurs ranking on a scale of 1 to 5 on 3 things, those being luck, total ability, and latent ability. There are only 3 characters blessed with the latent ability ranking of 5 out of 5, those being Naruto, Sasuke, and Haku himself. I think that Haku had his full potential be on or above the level of base Naruto by the time of the Boruto era. Saying he'd be on par with Naruto's 6 paths form is a bit much in my opinion, as the ranking likely didn't take that into account, but he'd still be incredibly strong nonetheless. Hope you guys liked the video, and I'll catch you in the next one, which is likely to be the Iblis related one or a look at a certain cursed spirit manipulator's full potential. Thank you guys for 80 subscribers, have a good day, and bye.